I think Eddie Insert's the real deal because he has a shinier suit than I do. This is a slide I made at the last minute on account of one of the comments made earlier about vision. Okay, my name's Pablos, I'm a hacker. Any other hackers in the room? Yes. Okay. All right, now's the time to shut off all your phones and computers and everything. We're gonna have a little fun. So a little bit about me. I work at a company called Blue Origin, which is a privately funded space program run by Jeff Bezos. At that time, we were doing wacky research on how to get into space using anything but rockets. Now they build a rocket, so I quit. Got obsessed about how we get away from the desk and take what we love about our computers with us a while ago. So we did a bunch of projects around wearable technologies, which turned out to mostly be wildly impractical, and I'm over it. But before getting over it, I worked on this project called OQO to build the world's smallest PC, which is basically everything that's in your laptop, but it fits in your pocket. We shipped that machine in 2004. Eventually shipped a version that's, runs Vista and whatnot. Then I kind of converged those interests. Tie holsters for cell phones. That's what I thought the world needed. All these wacky projects. Now I work at a company called Intellectual Ventures in the lab, spend most of my time there. We have every tool in the world, and we work on pretty futuristic projects. Just photos around the lab. Okay, so what am I doing here? I had a point, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. Non-standard disclaimers. Got to always get the disclaimers. Everything I'm saying might be total bullshit. I might be making it up. If you're not convinced, that's totally fine with me. I want you to go look into it for yourself. Find out if this stuff is real. I'm in the business of saying totally bombastic sounding things that are actually true, but you get to figure out for yourself. The point, I do have one point that I was going to make, which is this. Everything I'm talking about today, what I'm going to get into, is trying to illustrate for you the mindset of hackers and why I think that's optimized for invention, right? And what I mean by that is hackers are in the kind of business of breaking things. And so what I think is different about the mindset is the question that gets asked by a hacker. And that's different than the question that you might get asked, or that you might ask, if I give you something like this, phone. What is this? It's a phone. Okay, it's a phone. Now you know how to organize it in your mind and you make assumptions about what it does. You give me this thing, I'm going to ask a different question. Not what is this, but what can I make this do? Not what does it do, what can I make this do? And that's different because it means I'm going to take all the screws out, take it apart, figure out what's possible to build from the rubble. And that's how you discover new things. And that process of discovery, I think, is what leads to invention. Once you have invention, then you can get on with innovation, and you can start doing new things. So that's the point. Now let's get on to fun stuff. I'm staying in a hotel room that looks a little less like this and a little more like IKEA, but hackers go into a room like this and start looking for something to do, something to play with. Well, there's a TV. That TV is not like the TV in your house. That TV is on a network. So, for $2.99 at a thrift store, we got a USB infrared transceiver plugged into our computer. Now I can send codes to the TV that it's not expecting to hear from me. So what? I can watch movies for free. Big deal. Play video games. But I can not only do that for my TV in my hotel room, I could do it for your TV in your hotel room. So I get to decide who's watching Disney or porn tonight. There's a, checkout system on the phone. I can watch you check out, put your credit card number in. Might be able to watch you surf the web. Sometimes there's computers hooked up and I can control them. Log in, bank accounts, funds transfers. Really big funds transfers. Other kinds of browsing. Just little things hackers can do. Anybody have a key that looks like this for their car? Keyless remote? Beep. Kids these days have figured out that they can take the key from their Jetta or whatever, drive through a Walmart parking lot and click open, 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 bleep. Eventually you find another car that looks kind of like yours that has the same key code. Loot it, lock it up and go. Your insurance company won't pay for that because there's no evidence of break-in. For at least one manufacturer, we figured out that we can manipulate the key fob to open all the vehicles from that manufacturer. So this is an interesting point to make about these products. Cars are not cars anymore, they're PCs. Your phone is a PC. If your toaster isn't a PC yet, it will be soon. And it inherits a lot of the problems associated with PCs. And with PCs, we have decades of experience of, working around these problems. But where's the system update in your car? What do you do when you need to patch the computer in the car? Right now, we don't have a plan for that. So when these problems come up, security problems, they're not dealt with. And a lot of that is just that, they don't think of themselves as PC manufacturers, and the security problems associated with computers are foreign to them. Key space is a really basic one for people working on computers. I work on a bunch of wacky wireless projects, wireless security. This is probably one of the most notorious projects called the HackerBot. HackerBot is a robot we built. It can drive around and find Wi-Fi users, drive up to them, and show them their passwords on the screen. I don't know, we just wanted to build a robot. We eventually built the pistol version of the same thing. And for your long-range password sniffing action, the sniper guy. Okay. This is a project I worked on with Ben Laurie to do, to try and illustrate passive surveillance. So the idea here is that this was a conference at a hotel. There were 3 levels, 3 floors of the conference. There's things going on in different rooms at the conference. And what we figured out was that we could just put a little computer with a Bluetooth interface in each of the rooms of the conference.
Hello there.
Log all the trying to do 2 things at once. I'm continuous partial attention meeting my way through this. Anyway, we were able to log where everybody in the conference went. This is the travels of a guy named Kim Cameron. Unbeknownst to him, we tracked everywhere he went. He's the chief privacy architect at Microsoft. And we could show, I went to this session for 15 minutes, stop work. Okay, can we see what this phone is doing here? With the audio? Anyway, we have a map like this for everybody else in the conference, too. This is a live demo here that's, likely to fail, because hacking and stuff. Let's see. Anybody use phones? This is anti.
Press 1.
Oh, okay.
Personal options. Press 4.
All right, great. So
press star.
this is my phone. What we've done here is I've just hacked into Marche's voicemail. She's here in the audience.
Messages. Listen. Press 1. Personal options.
So should we listen to our messages?
4. Disconnect. Press star.
Personal options. 4.
Personal options. Administrative options. Press 2. Greetings. Press 3.
Greetings.
Personal greeting. Press 1. Extended absence greeting. Press to select a standard greeting with your telephone number, which will tell callers that you are unavailable. Press 1.
That's boring.
To select a standard greeting with your name, which will tell callers that you are unavailable. Press 2.
Also boring.
Personal greeting. Press 3.
That sounds better.
Here's how your personal greeting was found.
Hello, this is Marche. You've reached my voicemail, so be sure to leave me a detailed message along with your contact information so that I can return your call. Thank you for thinking of me. Be in love and create a great day.
That sounds pretty good.
If you are satisfied with your personal greeting,
Are you satisfied?
press pound.
No.